Many times in the programming process, you will encounter a programming situation in which you need to perform the same procedure but by two different operations. That is, this condition may occur when the user can select either a button or a menu item to do the same thing. Rather than retyping the code, you can write reusable code in a general procedure and then call it as needed from both event procedures. Using general procedures also allows you to break down large sections of code into smaller, more manageable tasks that perform a specific task. By breaking down your calculations into smaller tasks, you simplify any maintenance that may be needed to be done in the program in the future. There are two basic types of procedures: the sub-procedure and the function procedure. A sub-procedure is designed to perform some specific action. However, a sub-procedure cannot return the value of a calculation. So therefore, if you want to perform an action but also perform a calculation and thereby return a value to the calling statement, you will want to use a function procedure. We will talk more about the differences between the sub-procedures and function procedures. You will likely use a sub-procedure if you need to simply set property values, for example, for a series of objects. Rather than repeating this process over and over again in the program, you might create one single sub-procedure that is generic enough to handle the operation for multiple tasks. However, if you need to calculate a result, then a function procedure may be the appropriate choice. Both sub-procedures and function procedures are considered to be methods of the object-oriented programming process. To create a procedure, you simply create a code window by typing private sub followed by the procedure name. You'll notice the open and close parentheses to indicate this is a procedure. Also, the words in sub is the last statement for this procedure. So everything you place in between private sub and the procedure name and the statement in sub will be performed when that procedure is called. You create a sub-procedure in your code window by enclosing the desired lines of code within these statements. When you type the first line, private sub procedure name, and then press the enter key, the Visual Basic Editor will automatically add the parentheses to the sub statement and also will add the in sub statement. And the insertion point will then be placed between the two lines, ready for you to insert your statements at that point. It's also worth noting that VisualBasic.net provides three choices when creating sub-procedures. That is, they can be considered private, public, or friend. For now, the private procedure will handle most situations. The coding for the new procedure is similar to the other procedures we've discussed. However, the coding is not specifically attached to any particular event. Therefore, the code associated with this procedure is to be executed for all procedures that call it. So the next step is to discuss how to call the procedure. To call the procedure, you simply type the procedure name at the point in the code that you wish that code to be executed. The example provided is there's a procedure called calculate result. So at the point in the code where you would like to calculate the result or call the statement to calculate the result, you simply type calculate result, followed by the open and close parentheses. This of course assumes that the calculate result procedure is indeed being coded elsewhere in the program. So to call the procedure, you just give the procedure name, which in this case is calculate result. In another movie, we will discuss function procedures and see how these differ from sub-procedures. We also need to discuss how to pass arguments to procedures.